I feel like I've gone back in time a couple years. My hair is long and very annoying and not so great looking. And I'm talking about some trans advice. A transy thing today. Yeah. Hey Spuds, what's up? How's it going? I hope you're well. It's Jamie. Welcome back to another video, your first video. I don't know, but welcome either way. I hope you're going to enjoy it. Today I'm doing something a little bit different and I am going for some transy advice and talking about my personal experience because it was just my 3 years post-op metoidioplasty the other day on the 13th of January. And yeah, I just thought maybe this was an interesting topic to talk about. And I wanted to share it with you all because it's the kind of thing I would have found useful back in the day. Cheesy, I know, but hopefully you can find it helpful if you are wanting this kind of information. I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm gonna stop. So I'm gonna be answering questions like, do I still have dysphoria? Did lower surgery stop me having dysphoria? Did it affect it in any way? What can I sometimes still get dysphoric about? Maybe that gives away the answer to some other questions. And also not just bottom surgery, but how did testosterone and top surgery affect my personal experience with gender dysphoria? All questions I've been asked a lot and all questions that I think the answers to can be very helpful at different stages of transition. Yay, useful. But before I get fully started on this video, I just want to point out that this is obviously my personal experience. Like, the way my dysphoria has been affected by various different stages in my transition is what has happened for me. And sometimes there kind of can be like general patterns of things that happen, but this will differ from person to person and is not like the experience of every trans person. It's just me talking about my experience and maybe some of it can be useful for you. And a final thing, we will get right into the video very soon, but I need to say a massive thank you to Pride Counselling for sponsoring today's video. Pride Counselling is a service offered by BetterHelp and it is there to provide affordable private counselling for the LGBT+ community that feels safe and accepting. We all know 2020 was a tough year, and to be honest, 2021's already taken us on a bit of a ride. And as we missed out on Prides last year, I'm really glad that I can share a service that can be helpful for the LGBT+ community. Through Pride Counselling, you can get access to licensed, trained and accredited counsellors and therapists who are all completely LGBT+ friendly, have at least 3 years of experience and 2,000 hands-on hours. I actually used the BetterHelp service myself a few years ago, not at all related to this sponsorship in the video, and I found it really useful. Online services are great anyway and very useful depending on who you are, but during COVID, online services are a magical thing. You can get unlimited counselling and schedule sessions for text, phone calls, or video chats whenever you want. It's more affordable than in-person counselling. It's COVID safe, and if you're struggling to afford it, you can apply for financial help as well. If you want to go give it a go, you can use the link right here. Fill out a questionnaire, Pride Counselling will match you with a counsellor, and off you pop. And if you don't feel like you vibe with a particular person that you've been matched with, you haven't wasted time, you haven't got to do an uncomfortable trip, you can just switch, all from the comfort of your own home. So yeah, pridecounselling.com/jammydodger. Go take a look if you want to. And now, back to the video talking about dysphoria. I'd say the lovely topic, but it is not a very lovely topic, but hopefully helpful. So as a bit of background, I am currently 26, I am nearly 27, and I started transitioning when I was 17. It has been nearly 10 years. It's flown by. Honestly, I don't understand where 10 years have gone. And it's been 9 years pretty much exactly since I first started taking testosterone on the 25th of January 2012.
Hey, so I am officially on testosterone today. 25th of January 2012 is my T-Day, so I am so excited.
How? At the point where I was 10 years ago, before I started testosterone, I had a lot of dysphoria about pretty much everything to do with my physical appearance, the way I sounded, everything. Like my voice, lack of hair, like my face shape, my body shape, my chest, just everything. And taking testosterone really did help with a lot of this. Like the main proportion of like my everyday looking at myself, talking to other people, hearing myself, interacting with others, going out and how people saw me as well as how I saw myself, testosterone helped a huge amount with that. My voice dropped. I started getting hairier, although the hair took a lot of time and now it won't stop. My body shape started changing because I had fat redistribution, same thing with my face shape, and just generally I started to look different and I started to look more like the way I was comfortable with. Despite this, and despite a lot of my dysphoria over a lot of like kind of smaller things that all came together to create a larger thing, I hope that makes sense, just like my general appearance and how I sounded. Even though that was being helped by testosterone, once it was helped, my focus all shifted to my chest, and the dysphoria I felt over my chest like got really intense after about 3 months on T. I personally think it was really because my focus shifted. Think of dysphoria as like reverse buttering a piece of toast. Initially it's like spread all over, it's just everywhere, and then it starts like collecting in little clumps places, and you feel more intense where those clumps are. I don't know if that even makes sense. I was just thinking more about the things I felt dysphoric about, and the fewer things there were, the more focused I was on what those things were. So I became completely obsessed with getting top surgery. It was genuinely, I don't think like an hour would pass each day that I did not think about how desperate I was to get this done, how much I hated binding, how horrible it was, just all of that stuff. Fortunately for me, I was able to get top surgery 7 months after I started testosterone in August 2012. I was like 18 and a half. I very much did not like the experience of surgery. I mean, who does? It was horrible in the sense of like typical surgery, but then also I'd seen so many people waking up and like crying at the appearance of their chest and just instantly having like, yes, chests that needed to heal, but they were flat and not bruised. And I got like my dressings taken off, and the swelling was so bad, it was almost like I hadn't had surgery, and I was just extremely bruised and in pain and exhausted. It was all kind of like something that I felt like I should be so excited, and I kind of low-key was, but it took like 4 to 6 weeks until it really hit me that I'd had top surgery and how this was going to affect my life in like a positive way. So I really didn't feel instantly better in terms of my dysphoria over my chest, although I kind of did because I knew it had happened and it was just a case of waiting for it to heal. But once it did heal, oh my gosh, did I feel like so much better about myself. Like things from sleeping without my shirt on, having a shower and looking down, being able to put a t-shirt on and feeling it against my chest without a binder. All of those things are still things that 8.5 years later I am thankful for. It brought me so much comfort in my own skin that for ages I was able to ignore bottom dysphoria. And when I say bottom dysphoria, I'm not talking about my butt. I'm talking about genitals. But I always had dysphoria over this area. But if you think about like the things that on a day-to-day basis you really think about or you see when you look in a mirror and like you can do nothing but see it, like your voice, like your face shape, like chest, like the things that are harder to not pay attention to, bottom dysphoria I found significantly easier to ignore. It's like I could push it back. Like I realized, and I was grateful for testosterone and top surgery to the extent where I was like, I don't need to think about this right now. I don't want to think about this right now. I want some time to enjoy what I've had done and what I'm experiencing right now. So that feeling in combination with like a fear of having any more surgery meant it was like 5.5 years until I had lower surgery. Between top surgery and lower surgery, there was like 5-ish years. I had first stage metoidioplasty 3 years ago now, and second stage like 1.5 years, and like mine was a 2-stager. I need to have a small revision, but I don't really consider that part of my transition. It's so minor, it's chill. I'm not thinking about that. So for all intents and purposes, I am done physically transitioning. I do not want to do anything else. Getting bottom surgery really like booted my dysphoria out the front door and locked it behind it. And occasionally it just pops up with a little sad face in the window. It's really not how it used to feel. It's very different. It's very mild and very infrequent. Lower surgery changed things a lot more than I thought. I think I'd gotten so good at like ignoring my dysphoria and so used to the way I felt about myself and about that area of myself that after I had lower surgery, the change it made in the way I felt about myself, the dysphoria I experienced, and just like generally my confidence and my body confidence was way more than I thought it would be. It was like this incredible positive shift just generally in terms of how I felt about myself that I was not expecting. And that was pretty cool. So I really would say now I almost never experienced dysphoria, and it's definitely not in the way I used to experience it. It's so much less intense. It's like a little mosquito buzzing around my face like a few times a year rather than like this lion roaring at me constantly. That's kind of like the size of the difference for me and how intense the feelings are. And something away from the physical side of transitioning that changed throughout the whole time is how much like verbal or written things would affect me. So like hate comments, being misgendered deliberately or accidentally or for whatever reason, hearing my birth name, even not in relation to me, just anything like that I maybe found quite triggering for my dysphoria earlier on, gradually got less and less to the point now where I'm like, I can hear my birth name and not even like flinch a little bit. I can say it, not in relation to me. That is still a bit weird, like I can't do that, but if somebody else has that name, cool. If somebody wants to say I'm a woman and use female pronouns, I just find it funny. It doesn't bother me anymore. So yeah, gender dysphoria after bottom surgery is like teeny tiny for me personally. It's not going to be the case for everybody. I just really wanted to talk about my experience from the beginning to the end. I'm sorry if some of the things were a bit tough to hear. I wanted to just be very honest with how I experienced dysphoria and how difficult I found certain things and how certain stages really improved my kind of just general like well-being and how I felt about myself. Let me know if this video was useful, if you would like some more regular like trans help content. There's always a few things I can talk about. I can do Q&As sometimes, whatever. I want to still help you guys, you know? Leave your comments down below. Think about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.